Ever wonder if staring at a light can be as boring as fuck? I mean, like, how many times have you been waiting for the light to change at an intersection and thought, wow, this is my life now. I am in a profound staring contest with a traffic signal. But hold on, I found a guy who will make you think differently about that. Meet James Turrell, the man who turned glowing rectangles into religious experiences and made people pay to stand in a room wondering if their eyesight just gave up on them. Born in 1943, Turrell wasn't always destined to be the guy who made people question what it even means to look at something. He didn't start out as some mystical light wizard conjuring glowing portals to the divine. Nope, he was a perceptual psychologist. Yeah, that's right. Turrell, in his early days, studied how we perceive the world, probably because he knew that one day he'd get to convince people that staring at light for 20 minutes could be life-changing. And honestly, he was right. Turrell didn't just make light installations, he turned light into an experience, like the kind where you start questioning your very existence. Imagine standing in a room with no furniture, no distractions, just light. Sounds like a bad date, right? But Turrell's light installations make you feel like you're seeing the world in an entirely new way, as if your brain is saying, wait, this isn't a normal light bulb. This is an existential moment wrapped in a soft glow. Turrell's fascination with perception started back in the day when he figured out that humans are constantly trying to make sense of the world. We see, we interpret, we overthink. Like, for example, how every single time we try to look directly at a light bulb, we feel the need to squint, and then hours later, wonder if we've suddenly lost our eyesight. Thanks to Turrell's understanding of this, he created art that would make you do just that. Stare at light for hours, only to question if you've actually seen anything at all. Is this art, or is this my life flashing before my eyes? His aesthetic philosophy? Well, let's just say Turrell's work isn't about throwing paint on a canvas or putting a banana on a wall. He's more about manipulating the simplest of human experiences, how we see light and space. And by manipulate, I mean he's like the magician who convinces you a box is empty, even though you're staring right at it. Through his art, Turrell makes you look at light and think, wait, is this really nothing, or is it everything? Take Rodin Crater, for example, the world's fanciest hole in the ground. Located about 50 miles northeast of Flagstaff, Arizona, it's a 400,000-year-old, 3-mile-wide volcanic cinder cone that Turrell acquired for a land art project. He took a volcanic crater, bored a hole into it, and transformed it into a telescope, one that isn't powered by lenses but by nature itself, allowing it to interact seamlessly with the cosmos. This is the powerful event we call light, the very essence of the universe's creation. Since then, Turrell has been transforming the inner cone into a massive naked-eye observatory designed specifically for viewing and experiencing skylight, solar, and celestial phenomena. In other words, it's the most expensive way possible to do something our ancestors did for free. Stare at the sky. Then, just when you thought it couldn't get more high profile, Kanye West arrived in 2019 to film his movie, Jesus is King, inside the crater. Because nothing says spiritual enlightenment like Yeezy wandering through a luxury dirt pit. It's truly an experience designed for the most elite of art lovers, those with the time, energy, and possibly the survival skills to trek out into the desert. After all, what better way to appreciate art than by traveling hours or days to a remote location where you can contemplate the vastness of the universe, far from the distractions of, normal life? And honestly, Every architecture student must experience this space. It's more than just art, it's architecture, it's sculpture, and above all, it's a sublime encounter with the universe. And my favorite piece by James is From the Way of Color, part of the Way of Color installation on Crystal Bridge's art trail. Every day, just before sunrise and again at sunset, this serene space comes to life. Visitors step into a quiet, open-air room where an oculus, a wide opening in the ceiling, frames the ever-changing sky. Soft LED lighting blends seamlessly with nature's own hues, enhancing the gentle transition of day into night and night into day. As the colors shift, time seems to slow, inviting you to simply breathe, reflect, and be present. It's a peaceful, almost meditative experience, one that feels like a whispered love letter between the sky and the earth, wrapping you in a moment of stillness and beauty. If you're wondering if that sounds pretentious, don't worry. Turrell is fully aware of how absurd it is. After all, he's the man who managed to convince people that staring at a glowing rectangle for 20 minutes is a spiritual experience. But here's the thing about Turrell, he's onto something. There's something innately profound about the way we interact with light. When you stand inside one of his installations, it's not like a normal museum experience. It's like someone gave you a new pair of eyes that are constantly out of sync with your brain. You begin to question reality, like when you wake up at 2 a.m. after a night of over-imbibing and look in the mirror, wondering if you really exist or if you're just a figment of your own existential dread. As absurd as it sounds, Turrell's work is about peeling back the layers of our sensory experiences to reveal the raw truth, or perhaps a lack of it. It's like when you're lost in thought and you're just staring at a wall. For a minute, you're wondering if this is a deep philosophical moment, or if your brain is trying to tell you that you should have never signed up for that online accounting course. Turrell's art makes you feel that sensation of, what is this? And yet, somehow, you're convinced there's meaning in it. Isn't it a bit like life itself? A never-ending journey of questioning, seeking, and occasionally staring at a glowing rectangle hoping for some profound insight? If James Turrell had an art exhibit that consisted solely of watching people scrolling on their phones for hours, I'd argue he'd make it incredibly philosophical. So yeah, James Turrell's art might make you want to roll your eyes at first. Seriously? This is art? I could do this with my phone's flashlight app. But after you experience it, you'll probably leave thinking, okay, that was weird, but also profound. And that's exactly what Turrell's art is about, making you question life with your senses. Not just the light, not just the space, but your whole goddamn perception of the world. And at the end of the day, this is what Turrell's art is all about. So next time you find yourself staring at a light and thinking, is this art, or am I losing my mind? The answer is probably both. So, do you think James Turrell is overrated or underrated? Let me know in the comments section below.